Hello, good morning. It's coming up to 9 AM on Saturday the 22nd of October. The equinox was about a month ago, so we're well into autumn, and it really has got that autumnal feel at the moment. Coldish mornings, sometimes lovely sunny days like today, wet leaves on the ground. On my way out I had to navigate a tree that was down on the Two Tunnels Greenway. I'm now on the Collier's Way. I'm coming up to a T-junction actually. I'm going to turn left here to start my journey, do a big circuit, and then I'll be coming back down that way. I'll show you the junction in a minute, and I'll be coming down from the other direction up T-junction. So this is my pivot point. This circuit I'm quite excited by because I've been meaning to do it for 25 years. I kid you not actually, not the exact circuit, the idea of it, so let me try and explain. Ever since I started seriously cycling in my early 20s, that would be about the early 1980s, I kept seeing signs in my area for ancient churches, and I kept sort of thinking, oh, I must go down there one day. Well, I haven't, and it's taken me this long to actually design a route to go and visit all these places. There's going to be 8 in total. I'll talk more about them as the ride goes on. A couple of them I have been to before, but I think it's well worth revisiting and including them in this route. The other ones, they're either just up tracks that I've just never been up, or they've been churches that I've passed and just haven't had the time to sort of stop because they're like old axe deadlines or just wanting to get home, that sort of thing. You get the sort of drift. Today's going to be a relaxed ride. It's going to take quite a long time to do 100 kilometres because anybody who makes YouTube videos will tell you just filming just takes so long. I've got all day and it looks like it's going to be a nice day, so I really want to share these locations with you. The Collier's Way turns right at this T-junction and heads up that way. I'm actually turning left here and dropping down to Hardington, the first of my churches. In about 50 miles time I'll be sort of finishing the circuit and coming back this way. Anyway, first stop, Hardington. I'm just about to drop down into Hardington and the first of today's ancient historic churches, St Mary's. Can you see it? No, nor can I. It's hidden in amongst that farm somewhere. It took me years to figure out exactly where it was. I only knew it was there because of the historic signs at either end of this minor road. This really is like a ski slope going down. It's very, very steep. This village was actually completely wiped out, almost, by the Black Death in the 1300s, so there's quite a lot of history here. That's the steep hill I've just come down, and then it S-bends through this farm estate, then it heads up to that road running along the top of the hill. You can just about see the church tower just poking its head above one of the farm buildings. You really do think you've ridden through the village and missed the church. So we're on our way out up to that hill now. One of the guys on the farm just told me you come to this concrete road on this bend just as the hill starts. You follow that along, it'll take you to church, and that's it, the service road for the farm. And what he also told me was, give the door a really good shove. Sometimes it's stiff, you should get access, so I'm really excited about that. I hope I can. Is that the door there? Yeah. Oh, promising. Here it goes. Oh yes, managed like a lot of these old buildings by the Church's Conservation Trust. Lots of information there. Visitor's book, I'll have a good look in a minute. Donation box, I'll go and get some money for that. Wow. I believe this is still consecrated, so although it's not a working church, it can be brought into use at any time. I don't want to go into too many facts and figures on this video because I just want it to be more about the wonder really. This is really the first time I've been inside here. So I am a little bit interested in what I'm looking at. It says here, the interior of the church wears a Georgian air. The nave is furnished with box pews, possibly of 1815 to 1830. So yeah, box pews. Almost like you're locked in really, isn't it? I just wanted to read you the first couple of lines from this anonymous post from June 2020. It says, defeated, a sonnet to empty churches, and it starts, come on, you lot have survived worse things, Black Death, plague and 2 world wars, the Reformation. Cromwell clipped the wings of angels in the roof, and there are scars. And modern vandals too, but you've not stopped your ageless pain. I've just climbed out of Hardington, and this is a pretty obscure looking road. I mean, the only thing of real interest that makes it stand out are these 2 pillars here, almost like gateposts, suggesting it led down onto quite a big estate. As you pass through, there's just a scattering of houses and that big farm and the church. Anyway, along this busy, I think it's the Frome to Trowbridge road. You may just see where that front car is. There's a left-hand turn down there. I'll be heading down there through Frome to my next destination, Horningsham, in the grounds of the Longleat estate. I'm on an extension of the Collier's Way. It's Sustrans Route 24, and I've passed through Frome a slightly different way to normal, which is, you know, the magic of just making up a GPS route and finding other people's preferred routes. And now there's no entry sign for cars through the Longleat estate, but it is actually cycle access permitted. So again, this is new for me. Just, I can't emphasise it enough. Just sometimes just make up a GPS route. It doesn't matter if you get lost. Just go out and explore some new places with fresh eyes. Good place to give you an update about the route. So I've just come through the Longleat estate there, past this sort of junction. It's a crossroads with another zoo off it, so a 5-way crossroads, past the Bath Arms, and here's the clue, a 16th century chapel, and that's where we're heading, down that way. Just to confirm I'm on the right road. I love that really seasoned wood sign with all the moss from the autumn on it. And I'm heading this way. I really don't know what to expect. I'm really excited. After about a quarter of a mile, I was taking it really steady because I didn't want to overshoot it and miss it. I know it's quite small, and here we are, Horningsham Congregational Chapel, the old meeting house, founded in 1566. That old building there, I guess that's it, 1566. Got a thatched roof. Anyway, I'm going to go down here. There's no signage really to indicate, so this would be really easy to miss. Just going to wander on down here and have a look. Just come through this gate. I hope I'm not trespassing on anybody's land. Looks like it. Let's go and have a look. I sensed there was a different entrance. I'll get a feel for that when I go round here. Pretty sure people wouldn't be coming in this way. It's very slippery, by the way, if you were to come out this way, literally in someone's back garden. Yeah, caution needed on a day like today. Steep and slippery, mossy. I think this is more the main entrance. Can I get in? Oh gosh, yeah. Very dark. Oh wow, what a find. Balconies up there, forget what they're called. It's got a very old musty wooden smell to it. It's got a beautiful feel. It's creaking a lot as well as I walk up. Look at that lovely old organ. Literally have never been here before. I was very cautious coming in because I wasn't sure if I was actually walking into people's gardens. I don't want to upset anybody. Here's the usual information area for visitors. The maintenance of this ancient building is a heavy burden on the resources of this small church and village. Yeah, I will leave a donation. I need to go to a shop somewhere and get some more change. As with the last church, I'm the first person here for 3 days. Gosh, from Arizona. Melbourne, Australia. Oh. I'll pick up a book and a postcard and then come back in and put a couple of quid in the box. Notice there's a clock over the door. It's stopped, or it's certainly running slow anyway. It says 20 past 3. I hope it's not that late. As they say, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Gosh. Amazing place. The location is just so out the way. Quite blown away by how far people have come to find this, actually. I only live about 20 miles away and I didn't even know this existed. There's people from Melbourne and Arizona, and that was just the page I looked at. Okay, so there's 2 entrances. You'll see where my bike is. So the post at the far end of the lane, that's the main road going across. It's very steep and slippery down here, cobbled, mossy. I went in where my bike is, went round. The entrance to the church is just behind there, and you come out in what looks like somebody's garden, their driveway. I'm just going to head up and get some money and revisit the church and make a donation. That was me warning people, if they did follow my footsteps, to be very careful down there. It's steep and slippery, and I just bumped into the postman who was just running down there. Seemed to sort of taking his stride. Oh, excuse the pun. Gosh, they call this moss, and these mushrooms, definitely a sign of autumn. It's coming up to midday, so that explains why I'm starting to get a bit peckish. Anyway, back up that road there, and then just follow the GPS, following my nose. A few hundred yards of bridleway just to get back onto a minor road. You can tell by tyre tracks that 4-wheel drive's coming along here, so I'd say normally this is quite rideable. Ah, here we are back on the tarmac. But what was causing me problems on that was it was very slippery after yesterday's rain. During the good weather that would be a breeze, I'd have thought, even if it is a bit steep. I'm now at church number 3, St Peter's, Redlynch. I've just crossed the main road there. That way is heading up to Tinker's Hill, and left would be into Bruton, and I've come straight across like from the Stourhead estate. It's been quite hard going actually. Had a little bit of rain, that wasn't too bad, but the wind's been against me because I'm sort of heading westwards as I do the bottom curve of the loop, so hopefully after lunch it'll get a bit easier. Anyway, let's have a gander in here and see if I can get inside. Alas not. Nice little porch though. St Peter's Chapel, Redlynch, part of the benefice of Bruton and district. St Peter's Chapel is in use for occasional services during the year and may be available for community events by arrangement. Oh, ironically there's going to be a service there tomorrow at Harvest Festival at 11 AM. I just tried walking around the back and you can't get through that way. I've just spotted there's a gate there, and looking through the windows there looks like there's a door at the back, so there might possibly be some access. I'm going to try that gate there. No, that gateway says private, so I guess that is the only real entrance. So I'll put this one down too. I came, I saw, but I was conquered. On this way anyway, a couple of miles to the next one. I'm getting really hungry now, really ready to sit down and have some lunch. It's now about 12:30, which is quite good. It's round about lunchtime. I'm getting really peckish. I'm on the outskirts of the village of Pitcombe, round about halfway round my circuit for today, and halfway round the quest actually. This is going to be my 4th historic church, so I'm going to veer off down there, down this track. Look at that. That's just like something out Tolkien Shire, isn't it? And St Leonard's church is actually right next to that. It's slightly out of shot at the moment. That's going to be my lunch stop actually. I've just come in this way. The main road to Bruton goes up there, past the private girls' school. The River Brew itself actually rises up on the Stourhead estate. That's pretty much the way I've come actually, and it flows down to this lovely lush valley. This is like my favourite bit of the universe, I often say. And then the brew carries on across the sleepy Somerset levels into the Bristol Channel near Burnham-on-Sea. Anyway, down there, lunch. What a gem, eh? This is the end of the track, St Leonard's Church. Look at this, what a lovely setting, lovely South Somerset sandstone. Look at that as well, curved tower, Commonwealth war graves over there. And this is going to be my lunch stop. This is the lovely St Leonard's Church at Pitcombe. Just had my lunch outside. And this is gorgeous in here, look at that lovely roof. And the stained glass windows at the head of the church. My camera is getting very low on charge. I'm going to try and top it up. Excuse me. I'm going to try and top it up with the battery I'll carry for my Garmin. Got that wonderful building there with the rounded tower. And then that one perched at the bottom of the hill. Just like something out the Shire, isn't it? That lovely tower. Just such a beautiful setting in the Brew Valley. Can hear the traffic hurtling into Bruton. It's on the other side of that hill there, but this lane that I'm taking is just so quiet. Very rare you'll see anything, a local or a farmer maybe. This is round the back of the church, looking up at the tower. Look at that Hobbit house. Oh, beautiful setting. Just hear the wind whistling through the leaves on the trees. As you see, a lot of leaves on the ground. Autumn at its best. Bright red tree in the churchyard. To try and salvage the video, if I do lose charge on my phone, I'm going to start trying to do some filming on my action camera. It's useless, it really is, it overexposes. I think the audio is pretty bad as well, so apologise for the drop in quality. It looks as though my phone battery's had it actually, so I'm switching over to the Movie K2, so excuse the drop in quality. This is Pitcombe Viaduct on the old Somerset and Dorset Railway. Looks like somebody's got like a little garden shed up on the top there. This looks like it could be used tomorrow actually. I'll just go under it, turn right, and then I'll climb up into the village of Cold. There's a very steep climb out of Cold as you climb out of the Brew Valley. And then as you pass Wyke, there's a big cheese farm there actually, they export to Europe, and I'll show you a bit of an unusual sign out there. And also, just before you get to there, there's one of those signs where, you know, it inspired today's ride. I've just come up that road there, turning right, and I'm crossing over this bridge which says DFT SAD 115. That stands for, I think, Department of Transport, Somerset and Dorset Railway, 115th Bridge from the start in Bath. That is part of the old trackpad down there. Probably won't see it very well this time of the year, but that's a duck pond down there. They've made a wildlife sort of feature out of that, which is really nice. That side has just been infilled, and this is one of my churches that I want to come and visit. I ride by here so often, quite often I'm on a deadline, like an Audax deadline, or I'm just touring and I want to get home. I've often thought I'll go in there one day, so I'm going to go in there today. There's the bridge, fencing, and the sign to the church. It's even got an arrow. That's just made me want to go in there. I don't know why it's taken me so many years to actually get round to doing this. It's the Holy Trinity Church at Wyke. It says private property. Will visitors to the church please leave cars and bicycles outside this gate? Happy to do that. Once again, wasn't quite sure if I was coming the right way, and then there's a sign reassuring me to the church. I'm just full of joy at the moment, I really am, because I have no idea what to expect. I've been wondering what was up here for a long time. First impressions, I'd say this is well worth leaving your bike. Just having a wander up here. Can I get in? Oh no, it's locked. Ironically, I wanted to bring the movie camera out today just to try and do some shots of my chest mount, you can see, as I call it, my bra. And I know this doesn't hold its charge very long, so I bought out 3 spare batteries, which is sort of ironic really, because the battery in my phone has run out today. I don't know why that's gone down so quick, because you know, if I was going away overnight I would definitely take a power pack, but I just thought for a day ride it should be okay. So you live and learn, don't you? I've just left the church, coming up this way, this T-junction, and this is the Bruton to Evercreech Road. Gosh, look at all those wildflowers in that village there. Over there is a big farm, Wyke Farms. They make cheese, and there's a blue sign on the wall saying all lorry drivers use top entrance, so it must be in one way out the other. But there's something round here which puzzled me for years, and it took me a while to figure it out. And this is what I'm referring to, this sign. It's the sort of thing you'd see outside Cherbourg or Portsmouth or somewhere, you know, where people are getting off ferries that have been used to driving on the opposite side of the road. I just couldn't figure out quite why it was the deepest, darkest sunset. Leading up to the 2016 referendum about whether we leave or remain in the European Union, the BBC journalist Nick Robinson was doing a programme, and I said, bing, that's the answer. He was talking to a couple of business people, and one of them was the people around on that farm. He was trying to present both sides of the argument. They export to a lot of their cheeses and dairy products abroad, and they were obviously in favour of remaining. And then he talked to some other people who found it restrictive. I'm not even going to go down that avenue, it's just too toxic. But it, cut long story short, I said, that's why they must come out of here. And consequently, I'd never spotted it before, but there's one up the other way as well. Anyway, along here, just half a mile or so, then we're going to do a sharp right hand turn, head to our next village, Lamiat. Now, just past that unusual sign warning drivers to stay on the left hand side of the road, and whatever language that was, Eastern European I think, you take a right hand turn and come up for the lovely village of Lamiat. It really is nice up here. But this is another one of the places that I've often thought, oh, I wonder what that's like. To the church, I don't know if it's ancient, historic, anything about it. I just know that I want to go in there and have a look. This looks nice. Wow, this looks really nice, doesn't it? It looks like I may be able to get inside as well. I said down there I didn't know much about this church, so it does look like it's fairly ancient, 1718 if I'm reading those digits right. And it's also called, what is it called? St Mary and St John at Lamiat. Wonder what it's going to be like inside. Let's go find out. Shame we couldn't get in the last one. Any luck with this one? Oh yes. Oh, nice. Dark without being too dark. Metal pipes on the organs. That last one was sort of like woody, to be honest. Nice stained glass windows. Mural on the wall. I'm not sure what that's about. The village possibly. A lot of light flooding in the pulpit. Let's get the door shut. In St Leonard's Church at Cole, there was a booklet there, but it was the only one, and I thought, is it the last one? Should I take it and make a donation? I wasn't sure, and in the end I decided not to. And it was on top of this desk, which looked like it would open, so I tried opening it, and of course everything fell on the floor. I thought, oh no, there was nothing in there anyway, so I didn't take it. But it looks like there's some postcards here of that. No, I think that's like a pre-drone aerial shot of the village. Gorgeous, isn't it? It's even got a hot air balloon up there, so that possibly dates it. Sun rising or setting. Wow, that's really nice. A nice memento for the day. Don't really know much about churches, apart from the fact I like looking around them. Didn't realise they could be dedicated to two saints, so welcome to St Mary and St John's. Must be underneath the bell tower here, look. All the ropes to ring the bells. This little children's area. Oh, this is so nice. This is really nice. Incidentally, after my last video, one of my cycling mates from Bristol, Terry, he contacted me and sort of said, oh, I'm doing a champ soon actually. I'd heard about it through your first one, and now this has really inspired me because it's very soon. So I thought, oh, that's great, that made me feel good actually. And I watched his video, it popped up on my feed last week, and I just so enjoyed it. And he didn't tell you where he was going, he just told you he was going there from work and he was going to visit some interesting places en route. And I was trying to figure out, you know, oh, if he's going straight from work, it can't be far. Is he going to go to the one I went to first? So I was trying to work it all out. And he didn't, he went to one that I haven't been to yet, because I am going to go there. It looked absolutely wonderful. And because he got there quite early, he was waiting for ladies to let him in. So I've never had that for me. I've just always been given a code and told where to locate the key. So it looks like sometimes, you know, somebody meets you there. And anyway, he took a drone up and he had this wonderful drone shot of going up and looking down, you know, above the church tower, down on the church. And it was lovely seeing his first impressions going through the church, you know, not sure what to expect. And yeah, he really enjoyed it, and he's inspired me to go to that church. So on the end screen, I'll try, if I can manage how to do it, I'll try and put a link, you know, one of those box thingies to his video actually. I really enjoyed watching that. This is church number 6. I could stay here for a lot longer. This really is absolutely a gem. This says, wherever you're from, wherever you're going, you're welcome here. Yeah, it feels very welcoming actually. I've just come around the back actually, and wow, what a view. That looks like a fire escape. Although it's probably access to the bell tower. There's that door I couldn't get through. Look at this lovely rolling hillside around here, East Mendip. And then there's this pergola, some steps down to like a recreation area. Oh look, there's a tap there. Gosh, campsite. And like a little barbecue area. Oh gosh, is this nice or what? I've just ridden by here so many times, and so I sort of knew there was a church here because I've seen the sign, but I didn't realise it was this nice. So I've just left the church, climbed up, and then I got on that, following the hedgerow where it levelled out, and then you look down on this glorious Somerset countryside, rolling hills. Just about to make out the Mendip's transmitter in the far distance. Wow. And we're going to be crossing East Mendip. So we're going to carry along here, join another road going into Bruton, then we're going to drop down towards Evercreech, which is that sort of settlement over there, and then turn right before that. But even before that is another church. And then we'll be crossing the Mendip. So I don't know if you can see those pylons in the far distance. When you get to you approach the climb, it's not like one of the big climbs like over the West Mendip Plateau, the well-known ones like Burn Combe or Cheddar Gorge or Eber Gorge. This is, I think it's called Mazedown, but it's a brute, it really is. I would say it was equally as hard, and it psychologically destroyed me the first time I did it, because there's a bit of a grind going up to it, and then you sort of see the rise and you think, oh, I'm almost there, and you just level off and you realise you're not even halfway. It just carries on up, you know. The thing you need to gauge is just look at the pylons. That's what you're heading for. You'll be, when you're over the summit, you'll be passing underneath those. So in fact that works in my favour now, because I don't really start gauging my effort until I get up that first slope, by which time, you know, you're not halfway, but you're a good chunk of the way up. Anyway, onwards. Milton, Clevedon, next stop. So I've reached the end of the lane from Lamiat, that way, 1¼ miles. You hit this B road at right angles. It's the B3081. Evercreech is that way in a mile. We're going to turn off before that. There's a Victorian post box over there. Just going to turn my cap back to front here because this is quite a steep drop, so it saves the peak just being blown off actually if I put the peak at the back. I'll see you near the church. That's the big ridge, that line there that we've just dropped off. We're halfway down the hill, taking a sharp right hand bend, just a dog leg up to Milton Clevedon Church. Again, I don't know what's up here, I don't know anything about it. All I know is the name of it. Let's go and have a look. My GPS track gives you an idea. The dark line is what we've done. Literally just going to go up there, V, come back, and then that's the line we're going to be proceeding on down. So once again today, take a dead end track down towards the farm, right next door to it is the church. Then that track goes on along there, unmetalled, don't know where that goes. But no, I know where I'm going, through that gate there to have a look around. Oh, this looks nice. According to my piece of paper, this is St James Church. That confirms it. This gives you an idea of the surroundings. This is absolutely lovely. Moment of truth, can I get in? I'll get into the porch, that's for sure. Oh yes, we'll just sanitise my hands quickly. Okay, just sanitise my hands, let's come and have a look. Oh, quite dark actually. There's some lights. Not on. Gosh, this is quite dark. Very atmospheric. Some stained glass window at the front. Oh, some stained glass there. It's a very dark church this. Then these patterned ones. Don't know if you can see, there's just little bits of diamonds of like yellow or orange. That is really nice. I'll try and get a picture of that. I wonder if I can find a light switch that works. I'm up in the pulpit, that's looking down at the congregation. I'm going to hunt round and see if I can bathe this place in a little bit of light. I'm trying light switches, but there must be a master switch somewhere because none of them are working. On the side there's this wonderful, unusual stained glass window. Looks almost organic, like a tree or something, big mushrooms, very browny and yellow, bit of blue and crimson and turquoise. Wow, that's unusual. You may not see this because it's quite dark, but the plaque says, "In loving memory of Wilfred Clothier of Milton Farm." I guess that's one right next door. 1918 until 1983, and church warden of this parish 1950 to 1970. Looking up at the hills I came from, always like to try and have a wander around and just see the church from different aspects. Oh look, there's a seat over there. I'm definitely going to come back to this one. Wow, look at this seat over in the corner by the fence, looking back at the church. You may see in the far distance that line of hills, that's what I've just dropped down from, only halfway down the hill towards Evercreech, and then that's the hills surrounding Shepton Mallet. That's quite a hard climb over there, over East Mendip. You may see it's starting to get dark, so I ought to be on my way. Wow, this is just fantastic location. I'm really definitely going to come back to this one and try and see it in daylight. Leaving St James Church, Milton Clevedon farm track down there, and I just need to retrace back to that hill and carry on down towards Evercreech. You can probably tell it's getting quite late afternoon and darkness is setting in. I think there's some rain on the way as well. So this is the 7th of my 8 churches, so I'm going to carry on. There's quite a couple of really long climbs now, and at the top of the second one, at the top of the village of Holcombe, that'll be my last church, St Andrews. I really need to press on, so no more filming until I get there. I'll see you there. After hundreds and hundreds of feet of fast descending off East Mendip, you can see the line of it there where I've just dropped down. You just come down and then, like I said, you see Holcombe, you think that shouldn't be there. You turn around the corner and you suddenly see it is, and this hill just goes straight up. Funny enough, halfway up there's a house there called Wishamwell Cottage. I wish this hill would hurry up and finish. The summit is just where that car is disappearing, and in a few hundred yards on the left hand side there'll be a sign saying Ancient Church. That's St Andrews, the last of today's 8 churches. Okay, sack the research assistant. I've just passed through Holcombe. In fact, there's the boundary sign for it going that way. It says road closed, but I got through, no problems. Cars have been coming through. This is what I want to go and investigate. I've passed this sign so many times on my way home, quite keen to get home. Always thought I'll go down there one day. It looks like it's down there a few yards and off to the right. But I've been telling you it's St Andrew's Church, but it's not, because as I got to the top of the hill, I saw there was a church there, and that was St Andrew's. So I have no idea what this one is. So even more of a mystery. Save the best for last, I think. So this last church is about a quarter of a mile down this dead end road. I can't take the bike through because it's got a kissing gate. I don't even know what it's called yet. It seems to be a long way out of the town. So whether the old town used to be here or not, I just don't know. This one probably does warrant a bit of research, and as I said, I tried not to over research this. I just wanted to come here with, like, you know, the wonder of finding new things. So I did a quick little bit of desktop research, just tapped in ancient church, Holcombe, and it came up to Andrews. It just shows not thorough enough. Oh, this looks nice. Oh, wow. Am I going to be able to get in? I'd really like to, this last one. No, locked. Oh, what a shame. Oh, it is St Andrew's Church. In the shadow of the great Abbey of Downside. Oh, I saw a big tower up there. I thought that was Downside, but I couldn't quite place it. Oh, this is St Andrew's as well then. So I wasn't right. There's two St Andrew's Church. Oh, St Andrew's Old Church. Yeah, right. I'm just reading this church's Conservation Trust information board. It says key available from the Holcombe Inn. that's right at the bottom of the hill. So I've got, if I wanted to look round, I'd need to collect the key there, ride up here, come and let myself in, ride back down, give them the key back, and then ride back up towards Bath. Not sure if that's going to happen. Oh dear. Got to see the funny side of it. I think I will go up and read up about this one, see why it's so far out of the modern day village. Do my usual, wander around, see if I can peer through any windows. Oh, today's just been such a fantastic ride. It's taken me, it would have taken me about 10 or 11, maybe possibly even 12 hours by the time I get home to do 100 kilometres. But anybody who knows anything about making YouTube films will know filming takes a long time. But it's not just that, I just don't want to rush. Just really want to explore. Talking about being fascinated by old churches, I love looking around them actually and locating them. Today's been almost like a treasure hunt really. What a treasure as well. And one of my friends, Gwen, she said to me when I did a live Facebook post when I stopped at the church recently, do not find it a bit scary? Not in the slightest, no. I mean, they make them very cosy and welcoming inside, and why would you be scared? I mean, yeah, okay, churches are associated with death, aren't they? But they're also associated with marriage and celebration, and so no, I don't. And the funny thing was, I've referred to it earlier on, I was watching Terry Hilbert's video, and one of the comments in there sort of said, oh, nice video, but far too creepy for me, I think I'll stick to camping. So yeah, not spooky at all. The ones that I've been to, only two admittedly, and Terry's one, they just made it look so warm and cosy and nice, and you got the whole place to yourself. You know, if you want peace and solitude and you want to get away, you know, it's a perfect escape, I would say. It's gone 6 PM now, and I'm back at my start point from the video actually by the pillbox in the Wellow Valley. Daylight is fading very rapidly. I'm probably about 45 minutes from home, so I'm okay. Another couple of miles that way and I'll be on the Two Tunnels Greenway, traffic free, almost right to my house. Today has been absolutely fantastic. It's better than I thought it would be. I'm not just saying that, it was just, a couple of those churches were just a marvel. The next video will be, I've managed to get a youth hostel dormitory, and it'll be the first time I've been youth hosteling since January 2020, I think, a couple of weeks before the pandemic. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll try and film it. It's not going to be a 200-kilometre ride. I'm just literally going to ride straight there and just really enjoy the day. It'll still be about 85 miles, so you know, substantial ride. Recently went to Blackpool and I did film a little bit of the lights. It was never going to be a holiday movie. I just tried to capture the lights and the illuminations, they're fantastic. and I just couldn't get round to editing it. It just felt like too much of a family holiday that I just didn't want to edit and make into a film. And then I came back and I was going to start riding some 200s, and I came down with all the symptoms of COVID. So I did a couple of tests, spaced them out about 3 or 4 days, had all the symptoms, but they're both negative, so I'm just guessing I had caught a chill. We did get wet a couple of times in Blackpool, so hence why I haven't really been doing any films the last few weeks. As I said, the next one will be Youth Hostage, so I'm really looking forward to that. I hope you find this little journey interesting. It's only 100 kilometres, but I'll have taken 12 hours to do it and enjoyed it just as much as a 200 or a 300. I've just loved exploring today. Never been that far from home. If you've got this far, thank you very much. I've got a feeling it's going to run into 2 videos actually. I've done quite a lot of filming today. Once again, apologies for the poor quality in the second half of the film. Anyway, look out for each other. See you soon.